So hello everybody and welcome to our second English live stream. It's my first one. My name is Sophia and today I will continue with the topic environment and pollution with you. So I will give you an overview what I've planned to do with you today. So first of all, we will do a vocabulary revision from the vocab you did the last time. Then I have prepared a text for you and we will go through it together. And last but not least, I will give you some tips and strategies about how to prepare best for your oral exams and how to behave in oral exams. So first of all, I will start with the vocabulary revision. I've prepared some vocab for you and I will first give you the German equivalent and then I will give you some time to think about them and to find the English equivalent by yourself, and then I will give you the English equivalent as well. So we're starting with a word you heard the last time, which is Regenwälder. You can write them down as well. So think about what's Regenwälder in English. You can just translate the word to word into English. It's of course rainforests. Forests. Okay. So our next word is Verschmutzung. Remember, we're talking about environment and Verschmutzung today. So what's the English equivalent? It's pollution. Pollution. So, sorry for my spelling. Then we have Hitze. It's an easy one. It starts with the same letter. It's heat. And then we have Erdbeben. It's also very easy. You can translate it word to word into English. So what's Erd in English and Beben? It's earthquake. Earthquake. Then we have Abholzung. And what's Abholzung in English? You can see that in German there is a prefix, ab. So think of a prefix in English because you need one. And then you have Holz. So you can just think of Holz. And then you have a suffix which is ung, and you also need a suffix in English. So it's deforestation. And D is the prefix, then you have forest as for Holz, and then Dacian or Asian is maybe a more common prefix, suffix. And then we have Meeresspiegel, which is sea level in English. Then I've prepared the word Klimawandel for you. Klimawandel, you can also translate it word to word into English. It's of course climate change. And be careful because you need a space between climate and change, not as in German, because in German the words are written together. And now I will give you a word where there's no space in between. So it's, okay, there's also space in German in between, but it's globale Erwärmung. Maybe the next one. Globale Erwärmung, which is in English, of course, global warming. Perfect. Then we have Treibhauseffekt, which may be a tough one. Depends. Treibhauseffekt is greenhouse effect in English, but you remember this also from last time, I can imagine. So then we have Grad, which is a very a very easy one for you, of course, it's degree. And I think you did also the plural form, which is grader. Oh, sorry, haven't seen my spelling with degree. And also with an S in English, of course. Plural goes with an S. And then we have CO2, which is, yeah, CO2. Also CO2, oder CO2 in German, sorry, which is also CO2 in English, but to make it a bit more tough, it's carbon dioxide. So if you want to say the whole word, not just a short version, dioxide. So then I come to some to Hungersnot, which is a different one, I think, than the one we had before. So Hungersnot is vermeiden. Then we have Flut. That's an easy one, so think of it. It's of course flood with double O. And now we come to two illnesses, which is pest. So what's pest in English? It's plague, of course. Then, yeah, Krebs. And I don't mean the animal, I mean the illness, so it's cancer. And Abwasser. I think these ones are new ones, so maybe a bit tough for you, but you can do it as well. And I'm sure you all have already heard about this vocab before. So Abwasser is sewage in English. And then we have a verb, which is hungern. We had Hungersnot before, but now we have hungern as a verb. And verb goes with to, so we have to starve, of course. And last but not least, we have Müll or Abfall. And remember the word you all learned, waste paper basket. So what may be Müll or Abfall in English? It's of course waste. Okay, perfect. So now you can see all of them, or can you? Yes. I hope everything's clear for you and you found the equivalents by yourself. You can do this work as well alone if you want, or if you have to revise them, just take the words from German into English, or also the other way around, because then it may be more difficult, and you also should be able to translate the words both into English and also into German from English. Well, yeah, that was a small vocab revision from the last time, and we are now going to talk about an article. And as already said in the introduction, we will prepare you for, or we will try to prepare content for, or revise content for the oral exam. So I have prepared an article from the book Englisch für die Reifeprüfung Hauptmodul. It's a B2 for a B2 level, and it's from Trauner Verlag, which is an Austrian, an Austrian company. So I've prepared a text for you, and I'm going to give you, because the text is divided in some paragraphs, and in the text, in the original text, each paragraph has a heading. But I won't give you the heading, I want you to find the headings. So I just write down with you, and I recommend you to write down the paragraphs, the sentences of the paragraphs with me, because then you can also more easily find a convenient heading for each paragraph. And in the end we will go through all the paragraphs together, and we will filter the main information of each paragraph, so you know how to filter important information. Also for your preparation time in the oral exam, you should be aware of how to filter information. Yeah, so we will do this together. I will show you how this works and give you, of course, some tips. So I will give you the overall headline, which is what are the effects of global warming? Effects of global warming. Okay, that's the overall. Did I make a spelling mistake? Yeah, I forgot the question mark, sorry. Okay, so I will get like this. So this means you have to find a heading for the paragraph. So that's space for you to write a heading on this line. But as I said, I recommend you to write with me the paragraphs and the sentences, so you can more easily find the headings and you can think of them. And as the picture is very small, I can't show you the whole text as a whole. So the first paragraph only consists of one sentence, so this makes it a bit difficult to find a convenient heading, but I'm sure you can fix this out. So it starts with as northern countries, then countries warm, disease, carrying insects, migrate north, bringing plague, we had this one before, plague, it's pest in German, and disease with them, okay. So this is a tough one because it only consists of one sentence, as I said before, but I'm sure you can fix this out. So second paragraph, it's a bit longer, of course, right? Yeah. Second paragraph, I will, yeah, so you can see more. Can you read this? Yeah, perfect. Okay, although some areas of the earth will become wetter due to global warming, other areas will face serious droughts and heat waves. Africa will receive the worst of it, but more severe droughts are also expected in Europe. Okay, but more severe droughts are also expected in Europe. Okay, that's the second paragraph. Now we come to the third one, which consists of two paragraphs. So you have to find one heading for two paragraphs. First, sea levels will rise according to the National Snow and Ice Data Center. Oh, sorry, there's a spelling mistake. Snow and Ice Data Center. Oh. And yeah, never mind. Sorry. If all glaciers melted today, the seas would rise about 70 meters. Oh, no, only 70 meters. Okay, and this you also, or I will write down the second paragraph, but you have to find one heading for both of them. So yeah, a second paragraph belongs to the same heading. So second, because it's first, then it comes second. Second, melting ice caps will throw the global ecosystem out of balance, because ice caps are fresh water, and when they melt, they will make seas less salty. And this desalinization, tough one, salinization of the Gulf current will screw up ocean currents, which currents without an E, which regulate temperatures. Okay, temperatures. No, don't spell it like this. Temperatures. Okay, so one heading for these two paragraphs. Next one. Don't worry, you will see all of them in the end once again, and you write them with me, so that's perfect. So next paragraph, that's a long one. Flooding represents one of the greatest dangers to human settlements, and is one of the most potentially momentous impacts of global warming. Warm water, takes up more space than cool water, making the sea's surface level increase. Okay, so next sentence, steadily melting glacial ice also contributes significantly to the rise of the sea level, an increase of just 1 single meter. 1 single meter would mean the flooding of large sections of the U.S. eastern with an A, sea coast. Okay, this is a big one. Next one. So, the next one's also a big one. It's dry areas of land that are already prone. And if you have any vocab questions, just post them and comment. My colleague, who is sitting next to me, will of course clarify your questions if there are any. And yeah, thank you. Okay, because prone is maybe a tough one, I don't know. Prone means neigen zu. So to prone to, don't forget the preposition. It means also neigen zu etwas neigen. Prone to forest fires. So are likely to be destroyed by even more frequent and destructive episodes, tough one. In 2007, more than 3,000 fires brought destruction to southeastern, with an A of course, Europe. So, because, no, the sentence is not over, because of a long arid summer. So I hope you know the word arid. It means dry, or to give you a German equivalent, trocken. Okay, summer hyphen a situation that would become normal as a consequence of the greenhouse effect. We had greenhouse effect before, so I won't give you the German equivalent because you already know the word. Okay, then in addition to the carbon dioxide, so released by the fires, major trees which draw CO2 from the atmosphere were destroyed. Okay, and CO2 is of course down. Yeah. Maybe we will. No. Yeah. So you have the whole paragraph. Yeah. Perfect. Next one. Here's space for your heading, and yeah, it's a very short one. Simply, simply put warmer oceans cause more extreme weather, including devastating storms, such as immensely powerful hurricanes. So it's a short one, like the first one. But hurricanes with an E, of course. Don't copy my spelling mistakes. So Next ones. A consequence of the increased amounts of humid air generated by global warming is that more thunderstorms will be triggered. So maybe two bit challenging words in there. So hamid, maybe some of you have already heard about this word before. It means feucht in German. And then we have triggered, or triggered is the past tense of the word trigger, to trigger. And to trigger means auslösen, so to cause. But in the A-level, in the oral A-level, it's very important that you use synonyms. So be aware of synonyms. So trigger, cause is a synonym. By the end of the century, the occurrence, double R, the occurrence of major thunderstorms could rise by over 100% in some places. Thunderstorms also often start devastating forest fires mentioned above. Okay, next one. Oops, sorry. So. Oh. That was not a good idea. Like this. Yeah. Okay, next one. We've soon finished. Only 3 more to go. Okay, above. Yeah, loss of habitat, sorry. And habitat, what's habitat? If some of you also study French or have French in school, think of the French word habiter. It's Lebensraum. So you can, maybe if it's habit or habiter, you can think of Lebensraum or Wohnen or something like that. Okay, loss of habitat for polar ice edge communities, such as polar bears, is perhaps the most obvious consequence of having a warmer climate. Animals that entirely depend on cold environments, like polar bears, for example, will retreat to more northerly locations, of course, to more northerly, northerly, of course, but you say northerly locations as the planet heats up. A strong connection between oceanic, or I don't know how to pronounce this word, but yeah, warming. This declines in reproduction and increases in mortality rates. So do you know what mortality rates in German, or only mortality? It's die Sterblichkeit, and when you have mortality rates, it's Sterblichkeitsrate among seabirds. Seals and sea lions has already been observed. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Next one. Maybe you have already some ideas for the headings. Think about them. Yeah. So, animals that are driven from their natural habitats. We had the one before, habitats. So, or normal migrations, or or normal migration routes by environmental factors. Routes with an E, of course, but you don't pronounce it. And environmental factors could easily come into contact with human settlements, leading to many deaths among humans and to already endangered animals. So this paragraph is about animals, to give you a hint. And the last paragraph. Okay. With greatly reduced rainfall. More severe droughts. Severe is also a word which comes from the French language, because you know sévère in French, so yeah, then you can find out what's it in English. And loss of soil fertility. Food, no comma, and water. Okay. Supplies would soon decrease, resulting in higher prices, famine, disease. We had diseases before. Malnutrition, and starvation. We had starvation as well, I think, haven't we? To starve, yeah. So starvation is the noun. We had to starve, which means zu hungern, and starvation is Hungersnot, or yeah, the noun. And this heading also needs or has two paragraphs. So last paragraph is countries that still have good food and water resources might be unwilling to share these vital commodities with other states or accept the millions of refugees that would seek new homes. Okay, finished. That was the text, and now I will give you the headlines, but first I want you to think about them, and maybe you find, or I'm sure you find some of the headlines by yourself, and I will just write them down for you as soon as we have. I will give you some time so you can maybe think of the first paragraph, which heading would be fine, what's important. Yeah, just I give you just a minute to think about it, and then we will discuss it together, or I will discuss it for you. Okay, so maybe you found some headlines. It's a bit difficult, but I would recommend you for the oral exam. I'm sure you will get a text by your professor, and in your preparation time you should get through the text and collect the main information of the text. Yeah, so you should be able to find headlines for each paragraph, and maybe not, because my text, each paragraph has already had headlines, but maybe in your text it won't be like that. It will maybe be a fluent text where you don't have any headlines at all, but I would recommend you to find a headline for each paragraph, because then you have already a headline and something you can talk about. And of course you shouldn't talk about the whole paragraph, because not every information in the paragraph is important. So yeah, think of it, and maybe you like the idea with finding headlines, and if it helps, I'm happy for you, and yeah. Okay, first paragraph. The text or the book recommends as a headline, spread of disease. But I mean, there's no true or false. If you have something with this disease, or yeah, of course there's an E. I always forget the E's. Sorry. Okay, spread of disease. If you have something like maybe just disease, that's also fine, because you can't always have the right, or there's no right answer, I'd say. So disease is also fine, or illnesses, or whatever. Yeah. So next headline, that's a long one, so you, of course you don't have to have it exactly like I'm writing it down, but the book recommends increased probability, increased probability and intensity of droughts and heat waves. Okay, that's the second headline, but I mean, if you have something with droughts and heat waves, that's also fine, or if you have maybe synonyms, that's perfect. So, whoops, where I'm now, where's my mouse? Can you see it? Ah, it's back now. Okay. So that was the second headline. Now we go to the third one. This is polar ice caps melting. Ice caps melting, and it's maybe a bit more tough because you have 2 paragraphs, but as I said, in the oral exam maybe you find just a headline for each paragraph, so you could maybe find a headline for this one and also for this one, but the books doesn't, yeah, the book says they go together, so that's perfectly fine. Next one, can you see it? Yeah. Yeah, so now it's bigger. Next one is a short one. It's more floods. And if you have just floods or whatever, water pollution, or that's also fine. But I already said it before. So the next one's fires and forest fires, because it says forest fires. We had forest, we had deforestation before, so you should know what forest means. I won't give you the German equivalent because you should already know it. Now we have destructive storms. That's maybe a tough one because the paragraph is very, very small, or maybe it's more easy, I don't know. Whatever. Destructive storms. Yes, perfect. And if you have any questions about the vocabulary, just post them and we will answer them. Then next one, I hope it's, yeah. The next one's more dangerous thunderstorms. Thunderstorms. Yeah. That's next one. So, yeah. Okay. So you can see the whole paragraph. Next one's an easy one, I think. It's loss of biodiversity and animal extinction. Sorry, extinction. So there is already loss of habitat. So animals are mentioned in the paragraph, so it's very easy to find a convenient heading. Oh, I just encountered a spelling mistake. Sorry, I hope you didn't write them down as well. Okay, next one. That's a very easy one because the heading is very small, very short, so maybe you have the same one. It's animal attacks. Yeah, so endangered animals are keywords, or natural habitats, migration. Yeah. Then we have the last one, decreasing food and water supplies. Oh, sorry, it's not red. No. Okay, decreasing food and water supplies. Perfect. Finished. I hope you did a good work. Maybe you have you found the same answers, I don't know, but as I said, there's no right or wrong. Maybe if you have, I don't know, something very, very different, then maybe you should rethink about it, but as I said before, there's no right or wrong. So, perfect, we did the text, and that's my first tip for you. Look for headlines you may use in your paragraphs when you prepare, or in your preparation time when you prepare for the oral exam. Maybe you can do some more activities. I will show you the text now. It looks like this, so it's not a text where you had to find headlines. I just created this activity for you, so you maybe find other texts in your books or whatever, or on the internet, and then you just cross the headlines out and you can find some headlines for it. So you have now, you can later on go through it and check if you made the right guess, or yeah. Okay, we're coming to our last part today, which is to give you some tips for the oral exam. Maybe your teacher already prepared you for the exams, but if not, I will just tell you how they work and yeah, some tips. So I will take the tablet now and okay, sorry. I will do it like this. Oh, oops. Okay. No, sorry. You will see the picture very soon again. Okay. Yes. Okay, perfect. So now we are here. I'm sure you already heard about the oral exam. Maybe you don't know how it works, but just to give you an overview, the oral exam, so as a heading, oral exam. The oral exam in English is divided in two parts. So two parts. And as a whole, the two parts together will last 15 minutes. Yeah. And the first part of the oral exam will be the monologue. So, monologue. And the second one will be the dialogue. So as a monologue, you will be talking 5 minutes by yourself, just you. Of course, the teacher and the others will listen to you and will later on pose you some questions. But as a whole, the monologue lasts 5 minutes. And the dialogue, where you have to speak with your teacher, lasts approximately 10 minutes. So you have all in all 15 minutes. In the monologue or in the preparation time, you will have to or you will get some input for your teacher. So a task, of course, and this task will give you the topic, so you know for what you have to be prepared, and you have to answer some questions. So in the task there will be an input text, of course. I don't know how your teacher will do this or will handle with this, but I think he or she will give you an input text and maybe images, because images are also very common. You maybe have to describe them or also use them as an input. They give you maybe some more ideas, and yeah. And you, as you have to do a monologue by yourself, alone, you always get a role. So you may be the representative of a company, or you may be a manager, or you may be just a student, but you always will get a role where you have to embody someone. So it's not you. So you don't have to represent yourself. But anyways, I would recommend you you should present yourself in front of the public. You should say, hello everybody, my name is blah blah blah, and today I'm here to talk about da da da, and yeah, I'm a representative of da da da, and then you just go ahead with your 5-minute monologue. And make sure that you answer all the questions. Because of course the questions, which is the most important thing, you have to answer them. When you don't like one of them, this doesn't matter, you have to answer them. And I would recommend you, because you have I think half an hour preparation time, and as the monologue is very important because it's the first impression you give in your oral exam, I would recommend you to use 20 minutes for the work or for the preparation for the monologue. because it's of course very important, and you have to speak by yourself. And in the dialogue there will be a second person, and which will be a bit more open. So yeah, be prepared for the monologue. And I would recommend you to look for some keywords in the dictionary. Then you have the input text, and as I already told you, find some headlines if you like this. Then, because not every information is important from the input text, only a few. And yeah, find headlines for the paragraphs, and then maybe try to describe each paragraph in 2 or 3 words, and that's it, not more. If not, it will get too long, and you only have 5 minutes. So now the dialogue, or sorry, for the monologue, find vocabulary, but don't write down full sentences, because this is, if you lose your line or where you are, you will never find back in the sentence, and this makes it a bit, yeah, confusing maybe in the exam. But I would recommend you to just write down some keywords, and then you can go from keyword to keywords, and yeah, that's just fine. So the dialogue lasts 10 minutes, and it's dialogue between you and your teacher. He or she gives you some questions, or you have like a real conversation with him. You can talk about your own opinion and what you think about a certain topic, and yeah. So I would recommend you to prepare some vocab in the preparation time, also for the dialogue, because you will of course get a task also for the dialogue. So vocabulary research, and as I already said, only keywords. Because you never know which question your teacher will pose you, and yeah, if you just prepare sentences, then you won't be able to answer the questions, maybe, because yeah, vocabulary is more important, I guess. Yeah, well, that's already it. This was a very short introduction in oral exams, but I hope you liked it. And of course, the next time we will continue with our topic, pollution and environment. We will give you a oral exam. Oral exams look like, and what you do, and yeah, maybe some new things to encounter for you, because maybe some of you have never seen oral exams before. But well, let's surprise yourself what will be next. And thanks for your attention. I hope you liked the live stream today. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments below our videos, and yeah, we'll see us next time. Bye.